सबैलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। म नेपालीले पनि अंग्रेजीले पनि मिसाएर बोल्छु ल। कुनै कुराहरू मलाई नेपालीमा आर्टिकुलेट गर्न अलिकति गाह्रो हुन्छ र म अंग्रेजीमा बोल्छु। अंग्रेजीमा स्पष्ट भएन नि maybe you can ask me question later about that specific thing ल। are you okay with that? Okay, thank you. अघि निधि दिदीले भने जस्तै my name is Nandar अनि aka Nandar Gyawalli, Nepali नाम Nandar Gyawalli हो। I was born and raised in Myanmar. Does anyone know Myanmar? Okay, that's good. A lot of the time, like धेरै मान्छेलाई थाहा हुन्न बर्मा भनेको कहाँ हो। It's a small country near China and Thai and India, so it's around that. I was born and raised there. मेरो grandparents' generation बाट नै हामी त्यहाँ छौँ। So I'm ethnically Nepali हो। धेरै मान्छे कन्फ्युज हुन्छन् मेरो मामा पनि नेपाली छन् भन्दै, धेरै नेपाली छन्। According to last census, it was around 6 lakh people बर्मामा छन्। 6 lakh Nepali people छन्। So मेरो कुरा भन्न छ भने के कुरा भनेपछि म सानो गाउँमा जन्मेको नेपाली फ्यामिलीमा। त्यसै कारणले म जन्मेको गाउँ चाहिँ अर्कै सेकेन्ड लार्जेस्ट एथनिक ग्रुपको गाउँ थियो। त्यसै कारणले मेरो एथनिसिटीलाई यस्तो एप्रिसिएट गर्ने or even recognize गर्ने community थिएन। So म चाहिँ सुरुमा म सानोमा चाहिँ I don't identify myself as Nepali because there is nothing to be proud as a Nepali there. किनभने culturally of course हामी दसैँ दिवाली तीजहरू मनाउँछौँ right? So there was nothing to be proud for being Nepali except like Bahadur or soldiers. त्यति मात्रै थियो। There was no female identified figure for us to get inspired and to be proud to be a Nepali woman. त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि and I think हामी socially culturally पनि धेरै जस्तो अरू एथनिकको मात्रै डोमिनेन्ट थियो त्यहाँ। त्यसै कारणले हाम्रो एथनिसिटीको केही हिस्ट्री बुक्सहरूमा पनि त्यस्तो केही देखिँदैन। So I didn't find myself as like you know even like अरूलाई इन्ट्रोड्युस गर्दा म नेपाली भनेर भन्दिनँ लाइक आइ एम फ्रम म्यानमार लाइक द्याट्स इट। अनि एथनिक सोधे नि बल्ल भन्छु नि नभए आई डोन्ट फिल द निड टु टेल पिपल द्याट आई एम नेपाली। सुरुमा त्यस्तै भयो। म नेपाली भाषा पनि बोल्थिनँ बिकज घरमा एन्करेज त्यस्तो खालके धेरै हुन्थेन बिकज हामी त अघि सानो एथनिक ग्रुपमा बस्दाखेरि आवर ल्याङ्ग्वेज वाज सानो ल्याङ्ग्वेज। So my first mother tongue language was Shan language, ani Burmese, ani other languages. It was not Nepali. Ani mo ghar sarera jandakeri, I think it was 12 years old. Ghar sarera jandakeri, the environment was different. It was a Nepali town. You know, Nepali people likes to live in hills and stuff. So mo hamro babaharu त्यहाँ सरेर जानुभयो। त्यतिखेर चाहिँ नेपाली कम्युनिटी भयो सबै। Like if I don't speak Nepali well, people laugh at me. So I feel ashamed. I started feeling ashamed of not being able to speak Nepali. So हाम्रो summer school छ बर्मामा. I don't know if you guys know about it. नेपालको नेपाली ल्याङ्ग्वेज नहराओस् भनेर एभ्री समरमा मन्दिरहरूमा यस्तै ओपन स्पेस हुन्छ। त्यो ओपन स्पेसमा सबै एभ्री क्लास हेज टु बी इन द सेम रुम। अनि एकजना गुरुजीहरू हुन्छन् लखुबाट पण्डित हुनलाई सिकेका गुरुजीहरू चाहिँ दे वुड बी सेन्ट टु लाइक टिच अस द लिटरेचर। अनि त्यो पढ्न थालेपछि I think there were a lot of things I learned there. Nepali school jana thalदाखेरि I was so desperate to learn language, but at the same time I learned a lot of dark side of the language and dark side of the literature and dark side of the culture. The thing to come stories, I was exposed to like you know this really typical traditional that are strongly practiced and believed. त्यसरी स्कुल जान सुरु गर्दाखेरि गुरुजीले you know like sexually verbally kind of exploit you because he's your Guruji, and when you're like not doing homework, he would be like touching your head and touching your back in a molestic way that you don't identify when you're younger. And because मैले यो गुरुजीलाई किन भन्नु परेको भनेपछि म बर्मा स्कुल पहिले एक्सपोज बर्मा स्कुल पढ्न पर्थ्यो बर्मा स्कुल पढ्दाखेरि there were very few male teachers, predominantly it's female there teachers के बर्मामा चाहिँ त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरिले 2 teachers मात्रै थिए मेरो जिन्दगी भरिमा बर्मा स्कुलमा. So because of that I was not exposed to male teachers. Male teacher थिए भएका 2 जना पनि they are very tough, like they don't really even look at you properly. Okay? So that being in that Nepali school was very different. Teachers were quite fragile as well, and they were very touchy, and in a way very different environment for me for the first time. किनकि मेरो घरमा सबै मेलहरु पनि त्यस्तै खालके tough थिए. So I think it was the first time being engaged with fragile type of kind of male. It was not so masculinity त्यस्तो खालके थिएन. त्यतिखेर म ल्याङ्ग्वेज सँगसँगै मैले अघि भने जस्तै a lot of dark sideहरुलाई एक्सपोज भयो. कस्तो खालके भनेपछि बाहिर सर्न थाले. So because I was on period, I was sent to a neighbor's house because apparently like वहाँ चाहिँ चौपटी भन्ने गर्दैनन् because we don't really feel safe पनि हुन सक्छ because that's like not our mother country भनेर. But what we are supposed to do is like if a female is like menstruated for the first time, she will be sent to neighbor's house. आफूले चिनेको या अलिअलि आफ्नो आफन्त नभएको घरमा पठाइदिन्छन्. So I was sent to there, and I feel really bad. Specifically, मलाई एकदम शौचालय जान मन लाग्थ्यो. I really wanted to pee, but I was told by the auntie from that house that the godson would be angry if you are going out during menstruation. And I was really surprised and angry and sad, and a lot of feelings come up into my head. It's like, why was the first question? Like, why? Like the sun doesn't rise only for non-menstruated people. It's like literally for everyone. But I was really frustrated, angry, and like sad particularly. But I didn't go. I didn't go for a while, but I couldn't hold the pee, And there was, गाउँमा चाहिँ, I don't know about here, गाउँमा चाहिँ toilet are not attached. They're usually like अलि माथि पर हुन्छ घरबाट है. So I really wanted to go, but there's no other option. I started crying. That's the only thing I could do. So I started crying. अनि आन्टीलाई डर लागेछ maybe like के हुन्छ भनेर. She said, okay, you can go, but take the umbrella with you and cover yourself from the sun. I'm like, whatever. Like I took the umbrella and I went to the bathroom. So there was these kind of restrictions, and even at home, like आमाले एकदम यो कुराहरुलाई strongly believe गरेर grew up भए. त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरिले उनले फेरि त्यो typical गाउँमा गएर पुग्दाखेरिले तिनीहरुको practice पनि फेरि typical हुन थाल्यो. They started to limit me. They started to kind of make me live the way the people in the village were living. So they want me to be a original Nepali. So apparently being an original Nepali means that you have to suppress your feelings, don't speak your mind, and follow all the traditional that is harmful to you. So it was that, but for certain time, those phases in journey, I think every woman have gone through that phase that you don't really, your body doesn't want to follow that, you don't want to follow that, but for the sake of being a good woman, you feel the need to at least try, at least be that person that society wants you to be. And I like, म पनि त्यस्तै भए त्यो कन्डिसनमा पुगे कि I want to feel validated. I want to feel that I am important. I want to feel that I am female enough, okay? I am woman enough for this society. त्यस्तो हुनाले मैले पनि सुरुमा I think for 5 years I follow all the instruction that was given to me on how to be a proper woman. And there was अनि another phase came to my life where my university पढ्दै थिएँ. I think it was second year. And the second year finished हुँदाखेरि I failed second year by the way. And in second year I failed हुँदाखेरि I realized that that was not the kind of education I wanted. Not because I failed, but because despite I was really good at school, I failed. I realized that maybe this is because of the corruption. Because I failed. Like that's the good reason that I want to feel about, you know, like, oh, maybe corruption I failed boy, because I was questioning the teachers all the time. I was this rebellious student in the classroom. A lot of teachers don't like me, and I don't like them either. I decided to leave the college, okay? Like I drop off without having second plan, you know. That was really bad. Second plan I left the university and I was just learning computer in my village, you know, computer training and I was working part-time as well. And at that period of time I was first exposed to the internet. On the internet, there was this program that was announced that, oh, social science program, like, you know, they're calling for young people in Myanmar, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, without even like, because our education is not designed English as a language to learn. It's designed to English as a more like a subject. You need to just know that it exists. So I was not quite good at that as well. Randomly I applied. I don't know why I did. And I got in with full scholarship to attend that program for the first time. It is outside the country, Thailand, Matthew. And I went to home with that news, the computer training whole day here. And in the evening time I went home being so excited, nervous, and like it was the first time I feel like I achieved something without anyone's support. Okay? I went to home, there was like Baba, my Baba was already passed away. Like at home there is this decision, Amaro Dadali Ganutu, but predominantly Dadali Ganutu because he is a male, you know. Garmato newsle, I even printed the congratulation letter. And I went to home with this like joy. Mom was there, Dada was there, and I'm like, yeah, I got scholarship to study, you know, in Thailand with full scholarship. It is like 16-month program or something. I explained it to them, and I didn't see any smile or happiness or any kind of excitement that I have in me in their face. And they would look so confused, and it's like, you're not going. And I asked why immediately. Because you're a female. That was the only answer. You're a girl. Only outside of the country. Only Nepali you're the only Nepali that has been selected. So no, you're not going. And as you know, again, I cried. Crying is like literally my revolution tool. So I cried. They were not convinced that it's important, it's good. Like, at least you know, freedom hope, okay? But then they didn't, and the Dada was like the same, no, you're not going. So I cried. So the hunger strike, like Gandhi I was really inspired by Gandhi at that period of my time. So Gandhi was going on hunger strike to kind of, you know, bring changes. So I was like, okay, this is my time to bring change in my family. I went on hunger strike. You know, mothers are really like worried if you don't eat. So that's her weak point. She was like so worried, and she was discussing with Dada whether we should let her go or not. Like, I think it was already 18 or 20 hours that I didn't eat anything or even drink or even out of the room. And they were starting to worry, you know. And at the end, I think she knocked the door in the afternoon time and she said, okay, if you eat, we will let you go. And I'm like, what? Oh yes, like I ate a lot of food that day. So yeah, got the difficult difficult हुन्छ कुनै मेरो ठाउँमा मेरो दादा या मेरो भाइ बाबा it would be so simple and they would even be so proud and throw a party actually oh my god my useless son gets something out of without we having to do it for them and but because I was born with vagina it was very difficult for them to believe that I was capable of taking care of myself and like doing things for myself so that was the first like turning point in my life where I was exposed to different culture where I learned about human rights basic human rights that was not taught in my country and I learned about the real history of our country where a lot of ethnic groups are oppressed and raped and being exploited by the military अनि धेरै कुराहरु थाहा हुँदाखेरि you just get exploded by okay like you realize that your entire life is like being oppressed and exploited and एकदम suppress भएको थाहा हुन्छ त्यतिखेर थाहा हुँदाखेरि के हुँदो रहेछ भने now I can admit back then I couldn't because I couldn't see myself like clearly like that what happened to you is like when you realize that your whole life you've been oppressed and like discriminated against and you have to suppress your feelings entire life and you realize that you can be treated better थाहा हुँदाखेरि तो frustration phase मा हुँदो रहेछ के and you want to blame everyone around you your father mother like your sister your teacher सबैलाई blame गर्न मन लाग्दो रहेछ किनकि you feel like why did you do this to me why did you do this to me भन्ने question you just want to blame everyone and feel angry all the time and that's okay because you are allowed to feel angry but that time I was like जतिखेर म घर फर्केर आएँ त्यो प्रोग्राम भ्याएर and I am the entire new person there was this time I told you guys that I suppressed myself I tried to be a good girl that was over like that was like done I am so done I'm going to be the authentically me and if it will take me to leave some people I will leave them if it will take some people to hate me I will let them hate me if it will take some people to just kind of criticize me I will take the criticism I was like so ready to be me but still there was this dark side of being you because you will have to lose a lot of people you love and care about and that will damage you in so many ways as well अनि घर आउँदाखेरि I feel angry all the time most of my time like I would feel angry with my mom for following certain shitty things that I don't feel valid to follow anymore अनि त्यो धेरै कुराहरु त्यसरी हुँदाखेरिले I started start from family मा हुँदै भएन and I gave up that's this kind of theory people think that you need to start from family and to certain extent that is true if you can that's good if you cannot start with where you can don't just focus on family के जब आफ्नो voice-लाई कसले important ठान्छ कुन ठाउँमा आफ्नो म गाउँमै बसेर lecture गर्दै बसे भए I would not be here today because let's focus on my village let's do in my village भन्ने the mentality it will not grow my village I need to find a place or a space where my voice is heard where my voice is taken important where my voice is is kind of valid के अनि त्यो community मैले आफै खोज्न पर्छ म बसिराखेर मसँग आउन गाह्रो हुन्छ के so what I did was like I left the village and I went to walk outside the village for the first time I work as a teacher and as a project manager where I also teach gender in a local organization in Myanmar त्यहाँ exposed हुँदाखेरिले I think I was again exposed to a very different community where I have to relearn about a lot of things and how they treat women Burma my very ethnic group they are 128 right now I think हुँदाखेरि culture एकदम they're quite similar but also different in so many ways but the way they treat women is universally very similar right अनि म financially independent हुँदै जाँदाखेरि I realized something from that economic freedom for women is so essential, because the more I'm financially independent and do not have to rely on my brother, mother, they stop limiting me. They stop kind of, making me feel bad about the thing that I'm doing. This too, like really, I realized that पछि मेरो voice पनि important हुन थाल्यो घरभित्र, because I am independent. They feel the need that, oh, she's very impressive. Like हाम्रो फ्यामिलीमा फेरि केटी मान्छे कोही पनि काम गर्ने थिएनन्, सबै domestic oriented थिए. I was the only one who was working outside. सुरुमा चाहिँ सबैले was like judging, because oh my god, she's gonna like not get a husband because she's working. The ultimate goal for a woman, I don't know here, to get a husband, a rich husband would be more preferable. Okay? So, I was not capable of finding a rich husband, but I was capable of finding a job that was kind of financially securing me. This too, like my voice was heard, and I was taken serious compared to the time that I was at home and just taking trainings and doing other activities. So I realized the first realization was economic freedom for women is very essential, because that liberates you in a way that you are more able to speak your mind. अनि आफूलाई बोल्न मन लागेको चिज आफै बोल्न झन् हिम्मत आउँदो रहेछ के, किनभने चाहिँ घरका मान्छेले किक आउट गरे नि, you have the money to survive and you have this financial security हुँदाखेरि आफूलाई झन् हिम्मत पनि अलिकति धेरै आउँदो रहेछ के. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. It may not be true for everyone के. So पछि आमाहरूले पनि मेरो भोइसहरूलाई respect गर्न थाल्नुभयो. And meanwhile, मलाई के भयो भने social media was a platform for me to start my activism as well. So my first activism was on menstruation, okay, where I talked about it. I talked about menstruation taboos because my mom started to accept that it's the time to change. So I feel like I'm about a validation miloko, because I'm getting the validation from the closest one that I care and love deeply and respect so much, and I realized that, oh, maybe if the person that I respect and love believed what I'm doing, maybe it's time that I expose to the general public as well, And I started talking about it in 2014 or 15 मैले त्यो कुराहरु भन्न थाले, and I got a lot of criticism and also support as well through media मा के, particularly Myanmar मा चाहिँ Facebook एकदम चलाउँछन्, यहाँ चाहिँ Twitter, right? Yeah. If you want to be politically engaged, you use Twitter, right? It's Facebook. Literally very dumbest thing to do, but people do it. I do it all the time, so I'm one of the dummies. So I started speaking up there, and people started to kind of engage with the discussion that I wanted to have. And gradually, I think I was not afraid to speak up. And I was slowly becoming financially independent as well. So that didn't stop me from speaking up. Okay, this was like really another phase come into my life, which is like to American liberal arts college Burma may bako liberal arts college there was this time where you have to do internship for 4 months or 6 months. Here I decided to translate this, why we should all be feminist. It's a book about why people need feminism, why we need feminism, why feminism is important. And the book explained feminism the easiest way, like every dummies can understand. More importantly, I'm like, I can relate everything in this book. I decided to translate it, not because I want to publish it, but because there are times when, because people started to notice you as a feminist in the room, they kind of turn their head every time some issue regarding women come up. You'll be like, they expect you to have opinion all the time, okay? Even though there's something you don't really care, it may be about woman is I don't know, cat call or something like that, and she respond to that badly, and they're discussing it, and you know want to care, you just want to listen to the story as a feminist sometimes, right? But no, they just expect you to say something, and it's just so tiring and frustrating. At some point, you don't want to talk sometimes, you just want to listen. This so I realized that if I can get this book translated into Myanmar, I will get to speak really less. And that makes me really happy, okay? And I'm like, only published any intention money, then this is what I thought before I translate. I thought I will translate it and print it by my own, and like every time in the room, I will carry it with me all the time. If people ask me, oh, what is feminism? And I'm like, wait a minute. Take it to your home and read it and call me back. So I was deciding, I was planning that way. And this thing, I went to my village, I was teaching part-time and I was translating the book. Because my mom reads a lot, right? My background, there is no writer. I come from a working class family. This is high class, high profile like they are very normal, ordinary, like so basic human being. They were farmers, they were like shopkeepers, they were like really normal people in the village. This is I didn't have high hope to be published, because I want to teach, and also my mom she's a great reader. She reads so much. The reason I comes to read it is because my mother read a lot, and I see her reading a lot, and I realize that it's important to read. And I was lucky that I have that kind of figure in my life. Not everyone is lucky to have that kind of parent. Okay? Baba read but my mother read more than my father. Every time my mom is kept lost in the house, she would probably be in the toilet reading. So she likes reading that much. So I grew up reading like her. Okay. To translate Gonavani Islands, I rely a lot on my mother. There's certain word I would like not know specifically in Myanmar, and I would explain it to my mother. With the help of my mother, I get to translate it. To translate, one of my friends was randomly sending me texts like, "Hey dude, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh yeah, teaching and just translating this book to share to the doggies." And she was so surprised. She was so pleasantly surprised that I was translating that. And she was like, wow, it's such an important task. And I was like, okay, really, do you think it's important? I thought it's important because I could relate to it. And I didn't think that everyone could relate to it. And she said, yes, it's so important, you should get it published. I said, dude, I'm not a writer. I'm not even close to being a writer. And I know no one who is a writer as well. So I don't think I could do that. She was like, no, you can. And she kind of the feminist book club on me, group chamro. She popped post okay. My friend Nandar is translating this book. If you wanna, if you are interested in knowing more about it, please get in touch. Post at the end, the one who posted that ended up publishing it. So I think this to publish here what I realized is that it's important to have that sisterhood, because you cannot be successful alone. You have to take each other along, okay? And if that sister didn't see that what I'm doing was important, I think the text would be only shared to dummies that I know. It would not be published. So because she sees that the thing that I'm doing is important, she wants to support it. She wants to do something about it. And I think because she did that to me, I feel the need to do it for other people as well. So the sisterhood ko important, ekdam inspiring or important लाग्यो. So book published गरेर भएपछि I think social media मा पनि मेरो voice हुँदाखेरिले र त्यो book पनि publish हुँदाखेरिले मेरो मलाई हेर्ने नजर धेरै change भयो as a feminist है. So I was taken as a very important change maker in feminist movement. अनि त्यहाँ पछि मेरो ओपिनियनहरू अनि मेरो भोइसहरू चाहिँ आई डोन्ट ह्याभ टु वर्क हार्ड टु बी हर्ड के लाइक इफ आई स्पिक पिपल टेक इम्पोर्टेन्ट बट फर द्याट आई हेभ टु वर्क रियली हार्ड द्याट खालके एकदम कोसिस गर्नु पर्थ्यो कि एकदम इट्स लाइक यु हेभ टु प्रुभ द्याट यु आर गुड इनफ एज अ वुमन यु नो बट आफ्टर द बुक वाज पब्लिस्ड इट वाज नट आई फिल यो मेरो फिलिङ पनि हुनसक्छ आई डिडन्ट फिल द निड टु प्रुभ द्याट I'm good, भन्ने खालको भन के as soon as I'm introduced as Nandar, a feminist, people turn to listen. त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि I realize that sometimes people are sort of like materialistic because I feel like my opinion would be the same if the book wasn't published as well. But the way people view is not the same. The people want some kind of physical achievement that is attached with you. And that is somehow really sad, but also it's an opportunity for you to brainwash people on feminism. I think I've said enough. I'll open to question and answer. If you have like any question that is something that I have not mentioned yet, it's also okay. You can ask any question that regarding feminist movement in Myanmar, or about me, or about other things, or literature, anything.
नेपाली भएर चाहिँ तपाईँको केही पनि आइडेन्टिटी छैन बर्मामा भन्नुभयो होइन हामीले बुझेको बर्मा त एउटा बुद्धिस्ट कन्ट्री हो होइन अझै खेलबारीबाट वान अफ दि विशेष खालको हिस्ट्री भएको होइन कल्चरको हिसाबले होइन बौद्ध देश होइन विशेष गरी खेलबारी ध्यानहरू गर्नेहरूको लागि विशेष मानिन्छ त्यो ठाउँ होइन अब तपाईँ नेपाली भएको चाहिँ तपाईँलाई ठुलो एडभान्टेज थियो नि त होइन नम्बर वान बुद्ध जहाँ जन्मेको थियो म त्यहाँबाट आएको हो होइन अनि दोस्रो चाहिँ गोर्खाजहरू गएका हुन् बर्मामा होइन भनेपछि त्यो अर्को आइडेन्टिटी थियो तपाईँको होइन यो भित्र थियो नि त त्यो भयो अनि त्यसबारे तपाईँ रेस्पोन्स के गर्नुहुन्छ मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ अब के थियो भने अस्ति मेरो छोरीको साथी आउँदै थियो घरमा अनि फर्स्ट इन्ट्रोडक्सनमै उसले के भन्यो भने म चाहिँ फेमिनिस्ट हो मलाई त म त फेमिनिस्ट पनि होइन फेमिनिस्ट उल्टा पनि होइन म त होइन अनि मलाई पनि त्यो 50-70 वर्षको थियो होइन उसले कसरी के बुझ्यो होला फेमिनिजमबारे तपाईँले के बुझ्नु भएको छ तपाईँ किताब चाहिँ पढ्नु भन्नुहोस् होइन अब त्यो बच्चाले किन म फेमिनिस्ट भने होला उसले होइन किन होला ऊ चाहिँ सेम एजको बच्चा हो 10 वर्षसम्म उसले चाहिँ कोही इन्ट्रेक्सन त हुन्छ तर स्कुलभित्र हुँदैन होइन त्यो वातावरणबाट आएको बच्चाले त्यस्तो भनेको थियो के होला के सिक्यो होला र किन ऊ फेमिनिस्ट बन्यो होला
म तपाईँको फर्स्ट क्वेसनलाई एन्सर दिन्छु र आई थिङ्क तपाईँलाई फर्स्ट क्वेसनमा यस्तो लाग्यो कि मैले नेपाली हुनलाई गर्व अझै पनि गरेको छिन भन्ने सोचाइ भयो होला ओके नसोचे नि लाइक म त्यस्तो नेपालीको भ्याल्युहरू कल्चरली राम्रो कुराहरू चाहिँ म सानोमा हुँदाखेरि अघि भने जस्तै म एक्सपोज थिइनँ कि मलाई कसैले नि सिकाउँदैनन् मेरो बाबा आमाहरू पनि एकदम त्यो कस्तो भन्छ जुन कन्ट्रीमा जान्छ त्यो कन्ट्रीको डोमिनेसन सधैँभरि जसको पनि हुन्छ इफ यु आर आउटसाइड अफ नेपाल एन्ड इफ यु हेभ लिभड आउटसाइड अफ नेपाल यु विल अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड कति हार्ड हुन्छ यो ट्रेडिसनहरूलाई तपाईँलाई अस्ति पनि भन्दै हुन्थ्यो इट्स भेरी हार्ड टु मेन्टेन द्याट भ्याल्यु के त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि मेरो बाबा आमाहरूलाई पनि त्यस्तै खालके भयो र कहिले पनि त्यो सिकाएनन् तर म त्यो गाउँको घरमा जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ गाउँमा चाहिँ अर्कै खालके वातावरण थियो र मलाई पछि त्यो ल्याङ्ग्वेजहरू सिकेर आएपछि अनि अरू कल्चरसँग एक्सपोज हुँदाखेरि मलाई आई स्टार्टेड टु फिल proud of being a Nepali person. Okay? I do agree with a lot of traditional and cultural practice, but still I am Nepali and I'm proud of that. Okay? So that is the answer. The other one, I think, अहिले हाम्रो एरामा, I don't know in Nepal, but बर्मामा चाहिँ तो मेरो फर्स्ट बुक पब्लिश भएदेखि फेमिनिजमलाई मान्छे धेरैले पढ्न थाले, किनभने चाहिँ मेरो त्यो फर्स्ट बुक चाहिँ एकदम सजिलो खालके अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ बनाइदिएको किताब खालके हो, जसले पनि पढ्ने बित्तिकै मेबी नट अग्री गरे नि गर्छ, नगरे नि गर्दैन, बट एटलिस्ट फेमिनिजम यस्तो होइन भन्ने खालके सोच्न थाल्छ। अनि हो त सोच्न थालेपछि कसैले चाहिँ फेमिनिस्ट हो जस्तो लाग्छ। कति मान्छेले मेरो त्यो किताब फर्स्ट बुक पढेर, मेरो गाउँका साथी केही फेमिनिस्ट भन्ने वर्डलाई कहिले पनि नसुनेका साथीले त मलाई त्यो किताब पढेर भ्याउने बित्तिकै नन्दु म पनि फेमिनिस्ट हो भन्दाखेरि त्यसरी भनेर आउँथे के। So I think what I want to say is like feminism चाहिँ अहिले धेरै मिडियाहरूमा यस्तो के अरे मुभीहरू पनि एकदम फेमिनिस्ट हुने मुभीहरू निस्किरहेको छ, अनि लिटरेचरहरू पनि फेमिनिस्ट लिटरेचरहरू इन्क्रिजिङली मान्छेहरूले धेरै मार्केटमा आएको छ। त्यस्तो आउँदाखेरि भएको पनि हुनसक्छ, त्यो अघिको बहिनीले त्यसो भनेको सी इज एक्सपोज टु इट के। मेरो बेलामा म एक्सपोज थिएन, आई आइडेन्टिफाई माइसेल्फ एज अ फेमिनिस्ट 2017 मा बल्ल म फेमिनिस्ट भन्ने वर्डलाई राम्रैसी बुझेर बल्ल म फेमिनिस्ट हो भन्न सकेको फेज हो त्यतिखेर। त्योभन्दा अगाडि मलाई बुझ्नै गाह्रो थियो, अनि के हो भन्ने कन्फ्युजिङ थियो है। तर त्यो पनि हुनसक्छ, अझै अर्को के हुनसक्छ भनेपछि रोल मोडल्सले गर्दा पनि हुनसक्छ। कुनै चिजमा यु डोन्ट रियली अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड पर्टिकुलरली के हो भनेर, बट यु सी लाइक गान्धीलाई हेरे जस्तै, लाइक इफ यु सी समवन इज मेकिङ अ रियली पोजिटिभ चेन्ज, यु भ्याल्यू, you feel like, oh, I am very similar to that person, or I want to be similar to that person. अनि त्यही कारणले भनेको पनि हुनसक्छ।
अहिले तपाईँ अरू प्रश्नहरू पनि लेख्नु, अरू पनि सोध्नु। प्रश्न सोध्दा इफ यु डोन्ट माइन्ड इङ्ग्लिस नेपाली अलिकति क्लियर गरेर उहाँलाई गरिदिनु भयो भने सजिलो।
First of all, I would like to thank you for a nice presentation. My question is, can I become male as a feminist or can I?
Are you asking for my permission? Of course, men can be feminists and men should be feminists. We should all be feminists. That's, yeah, I think. You should be feminist. And asking, I don't know why you asked that question. You can. Yeah, I give you permission.
I just question for you that it's debatable and some kind of YouTuber that is presented always in the मैले केही युट्युबहरू देखाएको थिएँ होइन, त्यहाँ अलिकति लामो डिबेटेबल जस्तो सिरिजहरू देखाएको थिएँ कि, अनि त्यो द्याट क्वेसन इज inconcluded that somehow presented in the YouTube. So I did that type
I know
of
what you mean.
process.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think like you can be a male feminist, but you have to realize that there's a line to be a male feminist. Sometimes there are male feminists who claim themselves that they are feminists, but they turn to teach female feminists how to do feminism. And that is not right, and that is not okay. And that's like literally practicing patriarchal gay. Patriarchal a feminist रूपमा practice गरे जस्तो हुन्छ. So you can be a male feminist, but I think your job should be listening more and doing things to make things better than lecturing women how to do feminism.
मैले एक क्वेसन एकजना नेपालकै फेमिनिस्टलाई राखेको थिएँ, तर उहाँको एन्सर के आयो भने यु क्यान नट भन्ने कुरा आयो। किन भन्दाखेरि उहाँको कुरा कस्तो थियो भने can you imagine or feel or
menstruation
like to menstruation भन्ने कुरा त्यस्तो आएको क्या। अनि त्यसपछि she ignored my question, you cannot. अनि मैले त्यही गरेर how do you feel the physical experiences of the female like to be you as a male भन्ने कुरा उहाँको थियो त्यही कारणले मैले यसलाई टायर पर्नु
Thank
Okay, thank you. I understand your feeling. Oh yes, Adiksha.
Like feminism ko definition is very vague. Like kati ठाउँमा you don't understand it. Like kataiको लागि say feminist भनेको just helping females हो. कसैको लागि चाहिँ it's helping both of them. How do you define feminism?
Thank you for the question. I think feminism is very like हामीले सोच्छौँ कि it's a Western ideology that is brought to Asia, but that's not true. Feminism भन्ने त्यो चीज feministहरू भन्ने चीज चाहिँ मान्छेहरू चाहिँ feminism भन्ने वर्ड नहुँदैखेर थिए, एसियामा पनि थिए, युरोपमा पनि थिए, अमेरिकामा पनि थिए, सबै ठाउँमा थिए. तर Western people they उनको education system ले गर्दा they have come up with a word to identify that movement or to identify that person. And you're right. Again, one daily question, there are different kind of feminism. Some people who care about only menstruation issue. Some who care really about domestic violence. Some who really wants to work on the education sector for girls and what a disadvantaged group. Okay, and that's okay. Everyone don't have to be. I want to say like there should be different kind of feminism to solve different problems, because you cannot solve problems in one way. Like there are different ways to solve each problem, and I think it should be a celebration that we have different kind of feminism. For me, feminism is about kind of letting women or men, particularly women, to decide what they want to do. Okay, feminism is, it's hard to say. When you say it's like, I don't want to offend anyone, but feminism is to kind of provide. मलाई एउटा भन्नु मन लाग्छ. आज रक्षा नेपालको दिदीसँग भेटेर आउँदाखेरिले उले भनेको कुरा मलाई एकदम मनमा भइराखेको छ. She said that we won't need empowerment for women if we have equality. And that is so true. We now have like this empowerment and a lot of other leadership workshop and blah 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 for women. And a lot of men are angry about it, because why are we having that? Why men don't have it? And the reason is because women are discriminated against. Women are limited in so many ways. Okay? And feminism for me is to provide those kind of opportunity that are not there for women. And feminism is bringing women together and like level up with as equal as men. छोरा मान्छेलाई कतिको human level ले हामीले हेर्छौं, त्यतिकै human level ले हामीले छोरी मान्छेलाई हेर्न सक्ने सम्मान ल्याउने कुरालाई म feminism भनेर सोच्छु.
Can you tell us a bit more about the organization that you work with and how it's bringing change in changing perspective towards feminism in Myanmar?
Thank you for asking. So I run this organization called Purple Feminist Group, which aim is to which aim is to promote feminist literature. That is the first thing, because I believe that literature has a really huge role to change people's mind, or at least make people think differently, because I grew up reading a lot and I feel like literature is very important. The other thing is we provide trainings and workshops to adolescent girls and boys on feminism, gender-based violence and self-defense. Ani arko kura चाहिँ we collaborate with other feminist organization, international and national, to kind of do events खालके गरेर त्यहाँ चाहिँ we do kind of speaking section, where storytelling section खालके हुन्छ, where we encourage, we don't say we encourage you to speak your story, but we tell our story, and that will encourage other people to speak. And the other thing we do is like we run campaign. Like I'll give you one example of the campaign we did last 2 months ago, which was about the concept of Pong. Pong means that it's very unique to Myanmar. Pong means that men are spiritually higher than women by born. When हाम्रो concept छ, it's a religious concept. त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि there was this huge controversy going on about one male artist. He did an exhibition on women's lungi. I don't know if you guys lungi do. Lungi, yes. It's a woman lungi, not man lungi. So, उसले चाहिँ woman को लुङ्गीलाई लिएर आर्ट एक्जिबिसन गराएको थियो. त्यो एक्जिबिसनको बारेमा एकदम ठुलो कन्ट्रोभर्सी भयो. त्यो कन्ट्रोभर्सी चाहिँ the one who did the exhibition was a male. Because he's a male, he said that similar thing like, oh, I'm doing this because for the gender equality, but I'm not a feminist. अनि त्यसले भनेर हरायो चाहिँ. अनि त्यो हरायो तर प्रब्लम चाहिँ त्यही थियो. Social media was like so hot with that kind of conversation about women are lower than men and that kind of thing were going on. So we decided to run a campaign to attach that home word with women. So what we did was like hashtag women also have home. So we said we took the positive thing that they attach with men and brought it to female and make it like women are also, we try to send the message that women are also as human as men. So 5,000 people participated on that campaign, and I think a lot of people are still talking about that campaign. And I'm really proud that that campaign exists because we literally have a page, and if a young girl in younger generation feel angry because her mother told her or her father told her that you have less home than men, she would kind of be on Facebook and she realized that, oh my god, this kind of page exists, so I also have home. You know, like long term we are thinking that way. So that was a huge success in terms of participation as well as the conversation that goes on the social media.
You say your feminist movement have a political environment connection. How do you see the political connection between the women feminist movement and the political environment?
That's a very hard question to answer because a lot of policy in Myanmar are very much like Nepal. It's not designed for women. It's designed by men for men, and it's very hard to change that or challenge that because there are a lot, like recently a rape case happened. 3 years old girl was raped by 16 years old boy, and the boy was escaped to another country because his parents were rich. And we demand for, like a lot of feminists and activists demand for the political change, but it was stuck in the social change. Social conversation भयो, social activism भयो, protests भयो, मान्छे डङले participate गरे, fundraising भयो, but then like that's it. It's stuck there. Nothing really happened. But a lot of feminists are getting to the position of like change maker in the policy, but you know, it's hard when you're outside. You really want to change the system, but when you get in the system, you become part of the problem as well, and it's very hard to challenge that. It still is a very challenging process there, but a lot of feminists are working really hard on that.
The presentation is very dramatic and your vision is a very wide one. But my one question is that what impact is feminism in the social and religious chapter of human life? Can you explain anything about this aspect of human civilization?
Change feminism religion मा के चेन्ज ल्याउँछ
के असर गर्छ यसलाई मानवताको दृष्टिकोणले कसरी भिजुलाइज गर्ने
connection between feminism and religion and then how feminism can influence religion.
That's actually a really good question. Our partner organization recently, they wrote a research भन्दा पनि यस्तो focus group discussion they read the Bible. It's about Christianity. Okay? So Chin woman, it's called Chin भनेको, I think one of the largest ethnic group in Myanmar. So what they did was they were, I think, 15 feminists. They read 2 of my books first to understand feminism properly, and another books. Book पढेर गएपछि what they did was they analyzed the Bible, and they wrote a research paper for a pastor. For pastor they wrote a research paper on feminist perspective about the Bible, and they recently published it through national panel discussion where there were 2 male pastors and 3 researchers बसेर त्यो कुरामा एकदम deep, it was a really kind of important and also radical conversation was going on, and it was promised there that they are going to share about the Bible or talk about the Bible in a very equal sense भन्ने promise भयो, at least by some pastor त्यो कमिटीको मान्छेहरु के. So I think that for me is a highlight that is made by feminist movement so far. And there are a lot of Muslim women. मेरो एउटा partner organization को Muslim sister हुनुहुन्छ, she has been doing a lot of she has been conducting a lot of sexual and reproductive health and right trainings inside Bali. So I think that is unusual for us because it's revolutionary, you know. पहिला त्यस्तो बलि भित्र छोरी मान्छेलाई यस्तो कुरामा बोल्न त दिन्नन्, हैन. So now they are talking about it, and that for me is a change. That for me is a progress.
I read an interview with you before coming in which I think you said that one of the challenges when you were translating the book you translated was that there wasn't a word for feminism in Myanmar, which surprised me. 2 questions. So given that, what's the state of feminist discourse, feminist literature there? And second question, what other challenges did you meet in translation, or things that you had to consider while translating?
Yeah. So in terms of feminist literature, I think I feel the need to translate that book because there was very limited feminist literature. We have this organization called Rainfall Feminist Organization, which kind of produce, I think, quarterly magazine. It's a collection of women's opinion. It's a magazine. They produce that quarterly. It's been, I think, since 2010, I think. And we have that. It was a very radical magazine. That's the only thing I know of. And the rest, a lot of feminist literature are there, but people who write it would say, oh, I'm not a feminist. I just write it because I want a different kind of, characters or different kind of audience or that sort of thing. They wouldn't take ownership on feminism. And the reason I think going back to the second question is I pronounce the word feminist while translating it is because I wanted people to take ownership on it. There is a word in Burmese which literally translates into womanism, and I didn't want that kind of translation, so I kind of just pronounce it because 1, I want people to take ownership on it, 2, because I want the conversation to go on as the word feminist. And I want, because people were started knowing feminism, but there was a lot of negative baggage around it, so people didn't want to talk a lot about it. But since the word feminist is attached with a good storytelling, my translation book is attached with good storytelling, it attracts more people to engage in that discussion. And generally, I think translating the book wasn't difficult or a lot challenging. I mean, there was one difficulty which was, I think, one of the examples that Adichie gave on Lily-led better law, which was an example from the US where I think Obama was initiating this change of law where women are paid less doing the same job as men are doing. So it was a slogan for for the movement of to kind of increase the pay or equal the pay, and that was the lily-led better pay. So it was a slogan for them, but for us it's very hard to kind of explain people that it is. So I had to took some time to explain that to the audience. Other than that, I think generally it was okay. It was a simple English. That's why. Thank you.
Okay, another question. In Myanmar, did you have do you or any female leaders? One thing. And any leaders that you are inspired, or in your primary education, you said that you had a lot of female teachers.
Oh, yeah.
So are you inspired by them? Were there any kind of feminism or anything like that? Like only in secondary school you have that priest who is teaching you. So, looking back, maybe those days you were very much negative, rebellious, yes. But looking back, didn't have any impact on you.
Thank you for your question. I think I'll answer the second question first. I think I did have one person who is still an MP. She is a female. She did she didn't used to stay at the village a lot, but she was always outside. But a lot of people would talk about her in a very cautious way, like, oh, she's MP, she will not get a husband. That sort of conversation was going on. But for some reason, I find her really appealing, and I so wanted to meet her. And she happened to be one of our friend of our uncle as well.
No, in a whole country, did you not have any female leaders?
I think back then, no, I didn't know anyone there. She was the only one.
In a whole Myanmar history.
अहिले त छ
पहिला कुनै बेलामा म्यानमारको हिस्ट्रीमा नै कुनै फिमेल
अहिले त छ I think back then थियो किताबहरुमा थियो, but I couldn't relate to them because a lot of them were Burma ethnicity. There was no Nepali or other ethnic group there. The majority of the group were Burma people or ethnic group, Burma people. So,
but you were living in that country, weren't you?
Yes, I was, but they were not living example.
What she's saying here is like she didn't have leaders that she could relate to.
Sure.
She's not saying there were no leaders.
You could not relate to. You could not relate.
Yeah, because they were from rich background. They were all educated and really good to university, and they were all they were so high that I couldn't relate to them. But now we have a lot of female leaders in our community and also in the whole country. Aung San Suu Kyi is the one I think a lot of people know, but I don't think
You could never relate.
No, I'm not even sure if I like her as a feminist.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of question. First of all, the presentation was very inspiring. And then मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ he said it पहिलो त्यो उसमा भन्नुभएको थियो that women do certain things but they don't prefer to call themselves as feminists भन्ने म चाहिँ त्यो क्याटेगोरीमा पर्छु हैन. So I'm not trying to offend anyone, but म आफूलाई feminist भन्दिनँ किनभने maybe because I have not done anything impactful. अनि त्यही कारणले अब यसको क्याटेगोरीलाई चाहिँ where do you put am I feminist unconsciously भए पनि हुन्छ नि subconsciously अथवा म feminist हो कि हैन अरु किनभने I feel offended when people talk people चाहिँ equality गर्दैन है womenसँग, but then again म feminist हो भन्दिनँ के म. So that's my first question. So where do you categorize it? It's question. It's just my dilemma. So it's just my query. And second question, say I can relate to BBA. I was trying to ask, you have done so much. So were there any role models? Role models to do certain things, we have to be inspired. Just like Mahatma Gandhi. So you were talking about some male personality. So were there any female personality who inspired you? That's my second question.
Okay, I'll answer the second question first. I think it's not like literally one person stuck in my mind, it's different people. Okay, I can give the closest example I can give is my mother. Despite not being so educated, she was reading constantly and she was unlike anyone else's mother, okay? She was so understanding. She gave me the freedom that I want to be, like that I wanted and I needed to be. Although she was restricting me in so many ways, in the name of culture, and for the sake of society, she was overall a community. She was quite open to discussion and arguments, and she was a good listener to me. I think she was one of the person that I get inspiration, a lot of inspiration from. But to go back to the school thing, I think I got inspired by Helen Keller because it was on our grade 10 test book. I could relate to her because she was young like me. And that made me feel like see the possibility that a young person could achieve or could do. Of course, she's from an entirely different country, but being young makes me feel like, oh, she's young and she could do that. Maybe I could too. There was this little hope was seated there, And the MP lady that I was talking about, she was from my village, and she was also from minority, but she was achieving a lot of things that people think a woman cannot achieve. I think those small things from my village inspire me, because in my village back then we didn't even have TV. If we had TV, I think we would have kind of feel more differently about the social media. But by the time we have TV, I think we watch a lot of Nepali movie, and I really like Rekha Thapa. I still admire her in so many ways. Okay, so we have those kind of small example, like compiling them. I think all of them inspire me differently. So I don't remember having this idolized person as feminist that I inspire to be or aspire to be. All of them inspire me differently. This first question is, I have to ask you a question first before I categorize you. Do you think a woman should be treated as human?
Yeah.
Do you think women should be women should be judged by the context of their heart and their action than their vagina? Then you're a feminist. I'm sorry to say that.
I think यदि हामी अलिकति बाहिर गएर कुरा गर्दाखेरि रमाइलो हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो, किनभने बाहिर ओपनली हामी यसलाई we can take this outside and continue the discussion in informal manner. So सबैजनालाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद.